So are we going to be getting a Godzilla Minus One sequel? I sure hope so. But it looks like they're not rushing. And that's really, really good. We've got two comments here. One from the director, Takashi Yamazaki, who's looking like he's being courted by Lucasfilm for Star Wars, which is a bit, don't like the sound of that. I don't like the sound of him being infected with Hollywood, but still. And the executive producer for Godzilla Minus One has also commented on this a little while ago, but they both kind of align, and they sort of go hand in hand, and comparing the two to one another, they're very much on the same wavelength, which is great. You know, executive producer, director, you can clearly see why this worked so well as a movie, because they're singing from the same hymn sheet. They understand it. So let's take a look at this. Hit subscribe if you're new here, turn the bell notifications on. Follow me over on Twitter at Mr. Reviews, as well as Instagram, same place, at Mr. Reviews everywhere. Did you like Godzilla Minus One? And were you one of the lucky ones that managed to go, or will be managing to go and watch it, in minus colour? Yes or no? Let me know down below. I adored it. I've done a review of it. Unfortunately, it's not releasing in minus colour in the UK, so I'm out of luck. But I want to know whether you enjoyed it or not. Clearly you did. Who wouldn't have enjoyed this film? So we have this. Godzilla Minus One director Takashi Yamazaki provides an update on the possible sequel. But I want to cover first these comments from the producer, right? Because the producer came out and said some stuff. The update on it. Potential update anyway. And I think it's important, right? So here we go. Speaking to the Japanese branch of GQ, producer Minami Ichikawa stated that film studio Toho isn't going to rush to do a follow-up for Godzilla Minus One simply to capitalise on the success. They're not interested in that, which is the best possible thing you could hear. It really is. We established a dedicated Godzilla Room division at Toho in 2019, he said. We're collectively considering the future of the Godzilla character. We've had things like animated Godzilla films in the past, so we're brainstorming new avenues to expand the Godzilla universe, including publications, merchandise, and collaboration products. However, I don't feel the need to rush the next installment of a live-action film. Good films are all about quality. This is a massive, middle finger to Hollywood. We want great ideas, an excellent script, a talented director, and the right cast to work on it carefully. Godzilla deserves to have that level of intentionality. Yes. I think that's brilliant. Interestingly, he did comment on the American Godzilla films, which I think is interesting. So he said 25 years ago, TriStar Pictures created the Hollywood version of Godzilla, Godzilla 98. It was quite different from the original, with a distinct visual aesthetic and structure. As a result, it received mixed reactions. To be more faithful to the Japanese Godzilla, Toho secured a contract with Legendary Pictures, responsible for the production since 2014. This allowed us to guide and preserve the image and concept of Japan's Godzilla. Nevertheless, Godzilla has been famous in overseas markets since its first appearance. However, the robust response to this newest installment might come from the design and narrative elements that evoke the original Godzilla's essence. So he's like, yeah, you've done alright, but we beat you. That's basically it is what he's saying. It is. But anyway, it is good, right? I'm not going to rush. We're not rushing. Godzilla as a property, we adore it. It deserves that intentionality. Cool. Absolutely amazing. So what did Takashi Yamazaki say? So in an interview with Japanese website HJ Web, Yamazaki was asked what his plans are for the next Godzilla movie. And he responded, no, there is no such story at all. And he went on to indicate that he might not be the next director for Godzilla, but I might be a little sad if someone is chosen for the next work. When someone says, this is the person who will direct the next Godzilla, I think, ah. And when someone says, please do it, I think, ah. However, he did share one big piece of information about what he would do if he was chosen to direct the next one. If I were to direct the next movie, I would like to do a sequel to this one. But since there have been 2 standalone Godzilla movies in a row, I think the next movie will probably have to include an enemy monster. I agree. Completely, wholeheartedly agree with all of that, actually. And, you know, his comments here in terms of, you know, the script elements, if he was chosen, things like that, it goes to show the respect that these individuals have. There is currently no story at all, right? And you would think Toho, standard Hollywood is, oh, that was successful, cool, sign that director up and we'll just crank out another one. This is exactly what they did after Godzilla vs. Kong. They signed up the exact same individual, got him on board and was like, yeah, just crank out another one please, mate. This is what they do with all movies. All Hollywood does this with every single film that they do. Every single film that's successful, they will just slam out another one. Why not? Just quickly crank it out. And it's disappointing. It's a shame. I understand the need to strike while the iron is hot. Right? And I understand if you've got a plan in mind already. But if you don't, then yeah, you got to sit and ruminate on it. Just chill on it. Grow. Become better. Get that story a bit more substance. Whatever it might be, but it's not about rushing and just doing a cash grab, which is what he's talking about with the intentionality. And I think at the end of the day, Toho, you know, they done really well. They have done 2 standalone movies. They did Shin Godzilla, Godzilla -1. I do think that they would be stupid not to do a follow-up to this Godzilla. It ends perfectly with the potential for a sequel. The universe that they establish, how Godzilla is even sort of fundamentally around, the origin type deal. There's plenty of opportunities to move this forward. And I think ultimately as well, you can move forward with the similar characters or side characters adjacent around these individuals. But I would want to absolutely see these characters again, like 100%. I mean, Minami Hamabe, I'm butchering this, who played Noriko, was great. I want to see what she gets up to moving forwards. I want to see her story play out. And I think I and everyone else wants to see that. But there you go. Is it getting a sequel? No, not yet. But should it? Yes. Absolutely, unequivocally, yes. Toho would be stupid not to do a follow-up to this, as long as they take great care and attention.